Hey everybody, this is LB, and today I'm going to talk with you guys a little bit about the law of attraction. If you're not familiar with that, I'll go into it in a little bit of detail, but for right now, let me take a brief word from Anchor.fm and myself, which is our sponsor. If you're thinking about starting your own podcast, I recommend using Anchor.fm. It's free. It's got all the creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone, tablet, or computer, and it will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many other places like that. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenerships through sponsorships. All you have to do is record a commercial and upload it, and it's got everything you need right there in one place to make a podcast. All you have to do is download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started right away. Okay, so the law of attraction is what we're talking about today. It's basically saying that any thoughts or energy we put out, positive or negative, it comes back to us. So it's like if you are a mean, hateful person and you're constantly wishing bad upon people, bad things will happen to you. And it's not like, somebody does something to you and you're like, oh, I hate that guy. I just can't stand that guy. It's not like that. I mean, it does work like that because, it's every thought, action. It's your intent, basically. If you focus on negative, you get negative back. If you focus on positive, you get positive back. And it pretty much, from my experience, it works. It's a very valid concept. This is how I look at it. We as humans, we are batteries. We store energy. But we're also antennas and satellites. We send out energy signals and we receive energy signals. Basically, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It is in, of, and around everything. And we are all connected by this energy. Some people call it God. Some people call it the universe. And so it's like if you're constantly sending out negative energy, it reciprocates. It sends back negative energy. I was watching this thing called the Secret, and this guy made it a very understandable point when he said stuff like, it doesn't matter like how you focus on something as long as you're focusing on it. It's like if you're riding down the street and you pass a cop and you start thinking to yourself, please don't let me get pulled over, please don't let me get pulled over, please don't let me get pulled over, and then you get pulled over. What it was the universe doesn't hear, please don't let me. It just hears getting pulled over. It doesn't care whether you want it or not. You're focusing on it. So you get pulled over. It's a strange concept to some. I understand that. Like, a lot of people are like, no, that's not how things work. But if you go back and you think on a lot of things that you've done in your life or a lot of experiences you've had, and you think about things like, well, how was I focusing on this? I've had all these good intentions and all this bad stuff still happens to me. How did you focus your intention? It's not just what you're intending, it's how you focus on it. Like, if you and somebody in your office are up for promotion, and it's between one or the other, and if you start focusing on, please don't let them get it, well, they're going to get it. Because the universe doesn't care that you're focusing on them not getting it. It's that you're focusing on them getting it, whether it's good or bad. It's going to happen. What you got to do is focus on yourself and what you want. Focus on, please let me get the promotion. I need the promotion. I need this. I want this. I've got this. And that's what my experience has stated. That's better than anything, really, is it's not so much that you want this or you need this. It's that you already have it. If you imagine yourself already having it and you live your life as if you already have the things that you want and need, the opportunities to gain them, or the actual things that you want themselves will present themselves to you. Um, I I so badly wanted to start a podcast. I had no idea how I was going to do it. I didn't even know how to go about doing it, but I focused on it, and I started reading and learning and doing all this, like just studying basically. I just figured out how to, what I needed, and all the opportunities to start one presented themselves. Uh, I got a little bit of money, so I got a little bit of equipment. I got me a little setup. Actually, I can't. Let me back up a little bit, because it's not actually how it happened. I started the podcast first. Like I went to Anchor.fm. Actually, I went to a whole kinds of other places, and I started these little podcasts, and they all had the same name. They were all the same podcast, but they were on different formats, different platforms, and I kept going until I found the one that I liked, which is Anchor, obviously, and I started doing them. I've got the same laptop that I've been using, but at the point in time when I started, I had a desktop microphone, little USB plug-in with a sock on it, and I was just pumping out little episodes. I was talking about absolutely nothing, and I would interview my friends and stuff, because a lot of them make music, a lot of them are rappers, and to me, I love music, and so, the fact that most of my friends are into music, they make music, they are music artists, and some of them are actually very talented. It was easy for me to do these interviews and get people to listen, because they already had such a fan base that it was easy for me to just interview them, upload the episode, tag them, put it out there, and then their fans would listen to it. Um, but, after a while, I was like, man, this isn't going to work like this, because I'm going to need more than just a USB desktop mic with a sock on it and all this, that, and the third. So I just started thinking about what I needed, started focusing on getting, even the smallest upgrade. I was just like, I need this, I need this, I need this. And then I started, like, in my head, I was working the soundboard, I was adjusting the stuff, and I would pretend, every time I'd make an episode, I would pretend that it was a professional setup. And then one day, a little bit of money presented itself to me, and I had a choice. I could either spend it on something stupid, or I could, upgrade my equipment and spend the rest of it on something that I needed. So, I paid fines and fees and bills, and I bought me a little upgrade, and now I'm here. And I'm not done with it. I'm still, like, to me, the small upgrade was good, but an even bigger upgrade would be better. So now I imagine myself sitting in my studio with multiple microphones, people sitting around the table. We're all congregating, and we're discussing things and debating things, and just joking and clowning around. But and one day I will get there. I see it happening. And not only do I see it happening, but I also see myself getting somewhere with this. To me, this is my passion. I either want to, be a host on a radio show, or I want to do this for a living. I would really like to do something like this for a living. Because Lord knows I have a face for radio. But that's besides the point. That has nothing to do with it. What the point is this is something that I've wanted. This has been a passion of mine. This is something that I've been trying to do. I wanted to be on radio ever since I was a little kid, and you get distracted. Other things present themselves. I didn't have time to pursue the radio thing. I had to get a job. I had to go to school. I had to do this, that, and the third, and so, I kind of lost track of where I wanted to be, and just had to go with where I was. And it's only been in this past year that, like, between, life-changing events, and then the coronavirus, and all these other things happening in the world today, now that I'm homebound and social distancing all the time, I have time to try to get this I guess a better way to say would be as a profession, on a professional level. And so it all goes back to what were my intentions when I was focusing on this. Did I want to have all this free time? Absolutely. I needed the equipment. I focused on it. I needed everything. This is my second laptop, but the first one blew up after a Windows update. I mean, when I say blow up, I mean it expanded and popped, and the keyboard came separated from the rest of the laptop. It was kind of scary. We're still trying to work on that because we were having power surges in the house, and the utility company, the local utility company, came out a couple weeks ago, and they looked and said, yes, um, the surges are our fault. We have to fix it. But now we're thinking that the surges were what blew up my other laptop, and we're going to try to present that to the city so maybe they can replace that laptop, so now I'll have two. But that's, once again, that's besides the point. We're talking about the law of attraction here. The law of attraction, it's a concept. It's an idea. It's the reason why the documentary was called The Secret, because they say it is the secret. All these rich people, all these famous people, all these successful people, inventors, musicians, politicians, they all know this secret. It's because it's basically saying if you want it bad enough, you'll get it. But you have to focus on it, and you have to focus your intent on it, because if you have ill intent, you'll get ill intent back. But if your intentions are good, which that doesn't settle right in my brain, because the theory states if you put out negative intentions, you get negative results. But there are so many negative, successful people out there, people who are just genuinely not good people, who are extremely successful, and they claim to have been using this secret, the law of attraction, to get there. And so, I mean, some of it's confusing to me, some of it isn't, but it does all in a way make sense. That if you want something bad enough, if you focus on it, if you put out that energy, and I don't mean just focus on it, I mean it's got to be like 24/7, 365 days a year. You want it, you need it, you're already there. You can't just say, oh, this might happen, or oh, this probably won't happen, but I really want it to. No, you're going to be like, oh, this is happening. Like this is really happening, and you have to be like that every day. But sitting idle doesn't do you any good either. You can't just sit in your chair and say, I'm going to be successful one day. I'm going to be successful. You actually have to do something. You have to put some effort into it. It's I would say it's like 85% mental, 15% physical. I mean, but that's just like my ratio. Other people might say differently, but I believe that it's more mental, spiritual, emotional than it is physical. You have to do some work. You actually have to get up and get out and get something. But it's mostly where your heart lies, where your focuses are. So if you really want to get up and you really want to get out and you really want to get something, you have to want it. I mean, and by wanting it, I mean you got to be hungry, you got to be thirsty, you got to be ready to go get it. Do whatever you have to do, but make sure you have your intentions in the right place, because, I mean, so many people, they get somewhere, they get success, they get all this, that, and the other, and they're so happy, but they had the wrong intent, so then they crash. Pow. And I mean, I don't want to see anybody that listens to my podcasts that tries to take away anything from what I say to get success and then crash. I want everybody to have success and just keep climbing and climbing and climbing until their expiration date expires, until, the great beyond takes you to where you have to go. And hopefully that comes with old age. So, I mean, basically the gist of it is, I mean, you have to focus and really deeply desire something with a genuinely good intention. Um, you can't be, you can't be. I mean, and I know I say things like you can't be full of yourself. You can't be negative about it. You can't like go bashing others. But then, like if you see me with my friends that I support, uh, I got this one friend that he's a really good musician, really, really talented young man, and he calls him the best at what he does in the area. And I mean, I support him, but he does. He caps. He talks a lot of trash, and I don't necessarily say he dogs anybody out and talks bad about them, but he also takes away their dream a little bit by saying he's better than them. When in fact, I mean, even if he is, if you are better than somebody, you should never, ever, ever, you should be humble. Humbling yourself is the best thing in the world to do. I am not better than anybody, but then again, nobody is better than me. Um, we are all equally here. I mean, you might be more talented at this than I am, but I'm more talented at this than you are. And so, what we need to do more is to work together and put my positive with your positive, because we don't want my negative to hinder your positive. You feel me? Um, it's like say you are a car mechanic and you have 100% turnout rate. Like every time somebody brings their vehicles to you, not only can you diagnose what's wrong with the vehicle, no matter how big or small it is, but you can fix it accurately and successfully to the point where if they have to come back to you, it's not for that same thing. Uh, but you also get these mechanics that can do that. They can diagnose and fix the cars, but they also, I've heard of like a good mechanic that will fix your car, but they'll tweak something else just a little bit, so it will go wrong later. So you'll have to bring it back for that. Now, those people are not good with their intentions, um, and a lot of those guys will stay stagnant because after a while, people will catch on to this thing that you're doing, and it's not good to have that kind of review. Uh, it's not good for somebody to say, "Oh well, I hired LD to be my life coach, and he was telling me to step on people's backs and do all this kind of dirty, underhanded stuff to reach my success." I would never do that because I want you to reach your goals genuinely and with as much positivity as possible. And so, what you need to do, if you really, really, really want to better yourself or do things to make your life better, is you have to stay positive. I recommend yoga, meditation, get you a positive hobby or something that you enjoy doing. Like I personally like skateboarding. Not on a professional, I go to the skate park and do crazy tricks levels, but like I cruise. I'm a sidewalk surfer. I hop on my board. I put my headphones on. I put on some positive, like I'll either listen into some meditation music, or I'll be listening to conscious hip hop, which I found that like either conscious hip hop or lo-fi hip hop, uh, it works really well. It's not so much what they're saying specifically, because even conscious hip hop has negative connotations in the lyrics. Um, Take Eminem for example. He is his music is considered conscious hip hop, but he's a very violent content rapper. But the tones he uses, the patterns of his vocals, and the beats that like Dre or whoever he has making his beats for him, there's something about the patterns and tones that they use that affects the brain in a positive way. Even with the lyrics being violent and negative, if you're not focusing on what he's saying so much as how he's saying it, it's a big difference. It helps with something in the brain, the chemical release and all this, it's almost like when you step outside for the first time after a long winter and the sun hits your face and it's all warm and you're feeling good. You need music like that. Music is very important. There's something that music does to the human brain that maybe science has explained, but I haven't been able to figure it out on a personal level yet. But music is very important. I don't understand how there are some people that don't like music at all. Um, but I'm going to take another quick break for another word from my sponsor, and then I will be right back. And, okay, so I was thinking, I was going to just do the one episode just on the law of attraction. But there's a chance that I might end up having to come back to this later on, so I'm not going to just make this a one-part thing, well, I mean, this is going to be one episode by itself, but there's so much to talk about when it comes to the law of attraction. I highly recommend, if you're not familiar with what it is, look it up. Get on the internet, go to your local library. I'm not sure if you've got local, like a life coach, guru, mentor, somebody you can talk to, because a lot of those people, a lot of like the life coaches, gurus, and mentors, they actually use the law of attraction. Sometimes they don't even realize they're using it, but they actually use it every day. And so I would ask somebody like that if you're wanting to learn more on a personal level. But you can also go to your local library, look up the law of attraction. You can go online, look it up. There are documentaries. There's a movie called The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, I think her name is. But it's a really interesting concept. And so far, when I've applied it, it works. When I don't apply it, it works. Because applying it is positive, even if your intentions are negative. Just applying it is. But not applying it is negative, even if your intentions are positive. So you're still applying it, whether you're not applying it or not. And the thing that I've also learned about the law of attraction is you can't have any doubts in your mind at all. You can't doubt anything. You have to be 100% focused and convinced and assured. And you need your affirmations. You need to think about and focus on what it is you want, what it is you need, what it is that you have in your mind and your heart. And you have to be grateful for everything that you get. I was put on to a thing called a gratitude stone. I carry one with me everywhere I go. Mine is it's like about an inch long chunk of Apache's tear that I found by the river. It's super smooth, real dark in color. And I keep it on me everywhere I go. And every time I put my hand in my pocket and I feel it, I think about something that I'm grateful for. Gratitude. Something that I am very happy to have in my life. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to be gaining the success that I'm getting. I'm happy to have the abilities to get this success or go after my success. And I keep it on me. I've got it right here, as a matter of fact. It's one of my favorite things, and it's just a stone. It's not anything. I didn't go buy one. Growing up with a lot of people who practiced different styles of religion, different types of religion, I've learned that you don't want to just go purchase stones from people or get gifted stones from people and then use them, because you have that person's energy stored in the stone, which could be positive or negative, but you never know. And then you have to know how to discharge the energy from the stone and then recharge the stone and all this stuff. I understand how all that works, and I know how to do it, but a lot of people don't. So they're carrying around these stones that have somebody else's intent locked into the stone, and it's just not the same. It won't work the same for you. And a lot of people think that this is just a bunch of hubbub like, oh, stones and energy. Oh. Um, but I mean, it's over 6,000 years of people using crystals and stones to bring energy into their lives or store energy from their bodies and use it for an intent. I would imagine that a concept that's that old, if it's still around, it might actually have something to it. There might actually be something there. So if you don't already have one, and if you're interested, I suggest going to a riverbed or somewhere where there's a lot of like naturally occurring stones and find something smooth, small, fits in the palm of your hand. You can carry it in your pocket. I like to carry mine in my watch fob pocket. Um, just so like when I'm reaching in for like change or my keys, I don't actually like accidentally pull it out and drop it. I've lost my stone once before, and I lost my mind. And the funny thing is it was sitting right in front of me the whole time. My blind butt just didn't see it. But I did. I went crazy for like an hour trying to find my gratitude stone, and it was right there. People did laugh at me. They thought it was funny. Um, you just, you need to do things in a positive way. I mean, you don't have to. I'm not telling you, this is an order from LD. No, what I'm saying is if you want a good life, if you want to be a good person, if you want to have nice things, and you want them to last, you don't want it to backfire and blow up in your face, change your thoughts. That's the beautiful part of being a human being on Earth. A lot of people say you can't change somebody's mind. You can't change how people feel, think, or believe. Yes, you can. But they have to want to. They have to fully want to. You can change anybody into anything. And that is an absolute fact. So, with that being said, I'm going to end this here. I hope everybody takes a little bit of something that I said to heart and tries to apply it. And I'm going to be talking more about this kind of stuff because here at All the Smoke, it's not a bad thing. Like don't take the name and think about something negative. All the Smoke just means that I want anything anybody can bring. I have everything that I can bring, be it energy, be it whatever. Like I've got all the smoke. I mean, I'm here. I'm not afraid to talk about anything. I'm not afraid to say anything, and I can have an intelligent argument or debate or conversation with anybody and not get mad, but I can back up everything I say. And that's what all the smoke means to me. But it's also a good thing because I am not afraid to tell you what's on my mind at all, be it on this podcast or in person. And I just kind of wish more people were like that they could do all this and not get in their feelings about it, get upset, get want to get violent because somebody said something they disagree with. But yeah, I'm going to end this here, and I hope everybody has a great day, and they take a little bit of something that I said in this podcast with them, because if everybody applied this law of attraction, I think the world would be a better place. We'd have a lot more positivity. People would be happier, because the more successful somebody is, the happier they are. And I mean, I don't mean just like, oh, they make a lot of money and they've got things that they can do now because they can afford it. Because money doesn't make you happy. Success makes you happy in the fact that you feel good about yourself. Like, when I was building houses, at the end of the day, when the job was done, I would look at the house and be like, I did that. And I'd feel great about it. Like, I'd feel so fantastic about the job that I did. And that, to me, is success. You can be successful and not be wealthy. I just wanted to put that out there. But, yeah, y'all have a blessed day. And once again, this is LD with All the Smoke. And I hope you take something that I said today. I hope you take it with you and you apply it in real life and it works out for you. Thank you.